We haven't given the lineups, Coach.
Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall back in the ballpark. Here are the lineups for today's game. For California, Patek at shortstop. Leading off, Freddie Patek at short. At second base, batting second, Thon. Dickie Thon at second base. At third base, hitting third, Lansford. Corny Lansford at third. In the cleanup spot is the DH, Downing. Brian Downing, the DH. Batting fifth in left field, Clark. Bobby Clark in left field. In center field, hitting sixth, Miller. Rick Miller in center field. At first base, batting seventh will be Harris. John Harris at first base. In right field, batting eighth will be Kupski. Gil Kupski in right field. The catcher batting ninth will be Donahue. Donahue, the catcher. And the pitcher will be a left-hander, Ralph Bonney. For the White Sox, Lemon in center. Squires at first. Baines in right. Nordhagen, the DH. Morrison at second base. There's the ball bunted on the first base line. And he's an easy out as Squires tags Campaneris, who has replaced Patek as a leadoff man. Campaneris. There's Trout, who'll be pitching.
Trout is looking to break a personal 4-game losing streak, and like Harry was saying, that he lost his first game of the season on opening day against Baltimore. He'd like to win this one to break this 4-game losing streak.
Here now is Dickie Thon. Probably playing second base today with Campaneris, a last-minute substitution at short. Thon trying to hit the right field foul tips for a strike. Fred Spen, the plate umpire. Newdecker at first, Parks at second, Maloney at third. Steve Trout trying for his 9th victory of the year. Curveball a little bit low. The White Sox line up Lemon in center, Squires at first, Baines at right, Nordhagen the DH, Morrison at second, Borgman the catcher, Kuntz at left, Bell at third, Cruz the shortstop with Trout pitching. 2 balls and a strike. Cool but a delightful day. Now the pitch. Strike over the inside corner.
Well, we're playing in all white today.
There's a pitch foul out of play.
Maybe the last time you'll see these uniforms of this type anyways. One thing about the uniform itself, the players enjoy playing in that uniform. It's very comfortable and it's a good uniform to play baseball in. It's the colors they didn't like.
2 balls, 2 strikes. What the color has to do with
I don't know, but
how
I'm just saying. I know, but I'm just saying that they just didn't like the colors.
Bobby Cadott, the third base coach, Darren Johnson at first base. There's a high fly ball to right. Baines going way back. Makes the catch over his shoulder.
Boy, Harry, with the wind blowing in, that ball went a long way. It's blowing in from right field. And the little guy hit it a long way. And look at the good jump. And the way he's standing now, he's going to catch it 2 hands by turning to the side and made a fine catch.
I tell you a thing that Baines is going to learn with experience. When the ball is hit, to run as hard as he can to where he thinks it is, and then turn around to look for it.
We said that all year. It's just something that it's not easy for him to do for some reason.
Here's Lansford. A slow curve is in the first strike call. Because running while looking at the ball, you can't get to it as quickly. Now the pitch. Fastball high.
I'm going to explain a theory on that. You pick up the ball, you pick up the wall. That gives you a chance to get a lot of ground. Then you go back to the wall, and you got about 4 steps, so you don't have so much time to watch the ball.
Here's the pitch, swung and miss.
Because your first judgment of the ball gives you the distance.
2 strikes and a ball, 2 out. Lansford hitting .261. 15 homers and 80 runs batted in. Now the delivery, here it is. Low outside. Jimmy, I picked Jim Morrison as our most consistently best ball player for the year. You argue with me or
yes,
you agree?
I'm going to take Squires.
2 balls, 2 strikes, swung on. A bouncing ball. Third base went up. Here's a throw. Bell throws him out. The reason I don't go for Squires is that Morrison has hit 15 home runs and batted 281.
All right, we'll talk about it.
All right. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. And we go to the bottom of the first. No score. 168.
Well, you picked Morrison.
Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall arguing up here as we go into the bottom of the first with no score. He's trying to tell me all the games that Squires won with his fielding.
Well,
we've only won 68
You're telling me
games.
how many games he's won with his hitting Morrison now. I can tell you how many games I've seen Morrison blow with his glove. Not only did he make errors, but balls he couldn't get to because he didn't know the position. So I pick Squires because he's definitely a defensive first baseman and get the job done when you put him in there. You feel that Morrison has won games with the bat, so it's a matter of opinion.
One guy played twice as many games as the other guy.
Yes, but the guy that Squires is in 130 games. He went in late in the ball game, which is the most difficult time to go in to play defense, and many times got the big play.
Here we go with Lemon to lead it off. First pitch is a curveball low.
Is this a draw? And don't get me wrong, I love Jimmy Morrison. I think Morrison is a super guy, and it's come a long way.
Here's a fastball high, ball to Lemon. Hitting .293 with 11 homers and 51 RBIs. Last year he had 17 homers, 86 RBIs, and hit .318. Now the pitch outside, ball 3. But while this year isn't as good as last year for Lemon, this year is better than what you had a right to expect from Lemon because his lifetime average is .285. 3 balls, no strikes. Walked him on 4 pitches.
You try to tell me, Harry, that watching him pop up with men on base time and time again in the 3rd slot and the 5th slot and getting jammed, it's hard to compare what kind of a year he had to last year when he drove in a lot of big runs, I thought, compared to this year.
He drove in 35 more runs last year and hit .318.
Yeah, I thought last year he was a far more valuable hitter in the 3rd and 5th slot than he was this year. He just seemed to save himself when he went up to leadoff. He did a tremendous job, as good as anybody could possibly do.
He's hit about .370 as a leadoff man. Here's the stretch. Here's Squires the pitch. He bunts back to the mound. Bodding's only play first base for a sacrifice. From Bodding to the first baseman Harris. So the White Sox have a man in scoring position. There's the replay on the bunt.
He has one play, and that's the first base.
On this date, 54 years ago, this date in baseball history, October the 5th, 1926, Babe Ruth hit 3 home runs in one World Series game against the St. Louis Cardinals. He was to repeat the feat 2 years later. A little bit of trivia on the White Sox notes. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Baines batting .255. He jammed him with a fastball and he fouls it off. Crowd of about 10,000 or so. Hey, what are they doing here? Let's look at that again. What happened?
Call the ball a fair ball, I guess. Our friend behind the plate, spin. Now he swings at the ball. I thought that it hit him on the foot. No, it didn't. It is a fair ball.
Well, wait a minute. Let's see where it goes. That goes foul.
Now bounces back fair.
Now watch it. Now it rolls fair. That's what happened to it. So Baines is out. Here's a fastball, a strike call. Let's see that one again. That's an unusual one.
That extra line down there hit something on the line.
Nordhagen, the batter. There's a long drive, might be out of here. It could be off the wall. A run is in. Nordhagen started for a second. I think he thought it was a
home run. Yeah, Nordhagen, who should have been easily on second base, was watching it go out. It was a low breaking ball that he ripped, but it sunk on him. He hit it so hard.
Boy, I tell you, if you're Reggie Jackson and hit him, maybe you can stay at the plate and watch it.
Harry, what do you do? Hit 4 home runs in 4 days and 10 RBIs?
Now that's ridiculous. Even Nordhagen, as slow as he is, should have had a stand-up double. But he's too busy at home plate watching the home run that wasn't. It hit the fence. So he has to be content with a single. And had Dickie Thon not gone to sleep, they'd have thrown him out at first base. Because he had not returned yet. First pitch is high. White Sox out in front 1-0. Nordhagen. His 59th RBI. Morrison the batter. Low and inside.
Upfield, not too deep in center and right.
There you get a look at the Angels defense. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the pitch on the way, here it is. Low and inside, ball 3. This Bunting, who looked bad against the White Sox in Anaheim, looks just as bad in Chicago. 3 balls, no strikes.
He has not been up long. This is only his 6th start. He got beat last time out against Kansas City 5-0.
Here's the pitch. Swung, he fouled it back. Larson was swinging with 3-0. They hear from Lansing, Illinois, from Whiting, Indiana, from Davenport, Iowa. The Piklinskis are here. They hear from Arlington Heights. Billy Burke and her friends are here. Andy the bell ringer is here. 3 balls and a strike. He had a cut, and he missed.
Over anxious a little bit. Morrison chased the high ball up in his eyes.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Jim Morrison waiting. He walked him, ball 4. There's one important baseball game today, and that's at Dodger Stadium, where the Dodgers, with a victory, could turn the National League West into a tie, and it'd be a playoff game at Dodger Stadium for the championship tomorrow.
Garvey got his home run to win that ball game for him yesterday. He's won 17 game-winning hits for them. What a player.
What a clutch player.
Oh, boy.
Here's the pitch on the way to Borgman. Strike call. Runners at first and second. Bright sunshine, a beautiful day. Pitch by Bunting. Fastball high and outside. Well, the Minnesota 12-game winning streak came to an end. Kansas City beat them 17-1 last night. The standings in the American League are determined in the West. Here's a base hit. In the left field, the runner's going to score. Nordhagen racing for the plate. Borgman singles to left.
Hey, Harry, Nordhagen rounding third was running downhill. When he rounded first on that ball he hit off the wall, he was running uphill, so he had to stop. Here you'll see it now. This ball is really ripped hard on a line in the left field. The throw is just an ordinary throw to the cutoff man.
Twice in Anaheim, the White Sox swept 3-game series from the Angels. There's Larry Sherry. No, make that Jim Fregosi going on. No, that's Larry Sherry.
Sure, Larry Sherry. This program is owned by WSNS-TV through exclusive rights granted by the Chicago White Sox and is telecast solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this play-by-play description in the account of this game without the express written consent of WSNS-TV is prohibited for the last time.
Here's the way they'll finish in the American League West. Kansas City, Oakland, Minnesota, Texas, Chicago, California, and Seattle, in that order. The only doubt in the American League East is for third place, where Milwaukee, Boston, and Detroit are separated only by a game. There's a pitch to Rusty Kuntz, and it's low and inside.
Rusty likes this kind of pitching. He ought to rip this guy.
Line drive off the third baseman's glove. Here's a runner going to score. 3-0. Kuntz lined a single off of Lansford's glove. And now it is 3-0.
Well, we're trying to get this ball is really hit hard. It's up in his eyes. The third baseman Lansford gets a piece of the ball but can't hold it, and he slows it down. If might have got by, he might not have been able to score as Morrison comes on to score.
Boy, oh boy, you see. You know what a shortage there is. When you see some of these guys in the big leagues. Here's the pitch to Kevin Bell, and it's low into the dirt.
Chris Knapp, who has not pitched much the second half of the season, is warming up in the bullpen now for California.
1 ball, no strikes. Pitch to Kevin Bell. Curveball low.
You know, since that trade, you got a guy like Downing who's been hurt badly, Frost who had a bad back and then took chips out of his elbow this summer, and now Knapp has not been able to pitch much for them. So Dodson's done a good job.
We haven't got much out of him. Here's a pitch, swung and foul, out of play. Haven't got much out of Bosley.
Well, you know, Harry, I thought we did, though, in the pinch hitting roles early. He was sensational. He did a pretty good job when we were winning. We got 3 base hits with the bases loaded.
2 balls and a strike.
But when he had to play every day, he couldn't get it done.
Now the delivery. Strike call over the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rusty Kuntz at first. Glenn Borgman at second. The White Sox out in front 3-0. Ralph Botting, the left-hander pitch. Fouled it out of play. Houston, L.A. At L.A., I think they start 3 o'clock.
There you see Jim Fregosi.
Fregosi is headed for Las Vegas right after the game today.
Oh, really?
There's Tony La Russa, who celebrated his birthday yesterday.
It's been a long year for Fregosi with injuries.
He's not going to go to the playoffs, he said, and he's not going to the World Series. He's going to be operated on for what is that? Diverticular something. Here's a pitch, foul, out of play.
Is that pertaining to no pitching?
No, but it was probably caused by it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Diverticulitis, that's what
there
it
is. Stomach ailment, Harry?
It's like the colon. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Would that be caused by bourbon?
No. The pitch, outside.
What a beautiful sunny afternoon. Temperature around 55 degrees.
Runners at first and second, 3 runs in. Here's the pitch on the way.
Oh.
Hey, struck him out. Bell goes down swinging. 3 runs. 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. At the end of 1, the White Sox 3, California nothing. Harry Caray back at the ballpark. We're going to the top of the second on this, the final broadcast of the year. Final game of the year.
Harry, let's talk a little about the Yankees in Kansas City.
I like the Yankees.
All right, I know you like the Yankees, and I kind of like them too, but you got to remember about the Kansas City Ball Club. The thing about the Yankees is they're balanced. In their infield, they're not spectacular, but they're balanced. They make the average play. In the outfield, they may be a little short, but they make the average play.
First pitch to Downing is low.
Behind the plate with Cerrone, they're outstanding. They're pitching. You got now a choice of putting Guidry or May in the bullpen.
There's a strikeout.
I got to believe they'll put May because of Guidry's experience in starting in the World Series. Then you got Gossage down there.
Ground ball hit. Great play by Kevin Bell. Throws him out. Spectacular play. A diving stop to his left by Bell and a perfect throw.
Boy, Kevin hasn't played in a long while. Watch him go to his left now and dive for this ball. The problem for him now after he gets it is getting it out of his glove. He has a little trouble, but Downing hit it so hard he gives him plenty of time. And he throws a strike over there. A good play by Kevin Bell.
One out. That'll bring up Bobby Clark. Swings and he fouls off the first pitch.
And you got Gossage, of course. But the speed in that KC ball club with Wilson, Brett, White, Washington, and even Otis sort of helps them a little bit. That's what they wanted, and I got to think. And of course, Quisenberry in the bullpen, who you don't know whether he can pitch under the pressure of a playoff.
So what do you say?
I say the Yankees.
Well, I said that in 3 words.
I know you did, Harry, but I was just trying to give some idea why.
Have a speech, do we?
Well, I was just trying to give a little reasoning behind it.
The pitch, way outside. Bobby Clark with 5 homers, 33 RBIs. But
see, you picked the
Kansas
Yankees
City
all the way anyways, and I wanted to see Baltimore. It was pretty close, but the Yankees were just too steady.
2 strikes and a ball. Here's the pitch on the way. Lined into center field, a base hit.
Or should I say they were just too much Gossage in Jackson.
Kansas City has beaten the Yankees 8 out of 12 over the year.
But boy, Harry, and that 3 out of 5 is not too long. It's breaks and experience that really helps you.
The first 2 games are played in Kansas City, aren't they?
Yeah.
Here's Rick Miller now with a runner at first, 1 out. The pitch. Low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. One out and 1 on. Good fastball over the outside corner. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. Much more intriguing than the playoff between the Yankees and Kansas City to me is that ball game today at Dodger Stadium. Now the pitch swung and foul.
But you know,
a year ago, Houston one time had a 10-game lead after the All-Star break and lost out. Today, the Dodgers can catch them, end the race in a tie with a victory. There's a pitch a little bit low and outside. Who scheduled the pitch that? Necro?
It is Rule for Houston, Welsh for Los Angeles. It's Welsh is 14-9 and Rule is 11-4. Hasn't he been outstanding lately? Or?
Yes, he has. But you separate the men from the boys on a game like this. Here's the pitch, swung, and he struck him out. Rick Miller goes down swinging.
Trout now has 85 strikeouts, to walk 44.
Here now is Harris, the first baseman. Curveball a little bit low and inside. 3-0, the White Sox are leading. They're 9-3 against the Angels, trying to make it 10-3 today. They want to do to the Angels almost what the Tigers did to them. Tigers beat the White Sox 10 out of 12 this year, and the White Sox are going for 10 out of 13 against the Angels. A ball and a strike. Pitch is low and away.
Boy, the flags from center field straight in now, about 15 miles an hour. On the right side. Yeah, there you see it.
Ball outside. Ball 3. Another left-hand hitter, Kubsky. Boy, they have 1, 2, 3 left-hand hitters in a row in this lineup against Trout. There's ball 4. He walked him. Gilkowski, the right fielder.
One thing about it, he's got it all in his favor, Trout, because left-handers during the year do not hurt him. But you got to stay ahead.
Now the pitch. Swings and he fouls it back. St. Louis football Cardinals are murdering the New Orleans Saints. 20-0 in the second quarter. Seattle's taken a 3-0 lead over the Houston Oilers at the end of the first period. There's a strike call. Denver leads the Cleveland Browns 6-3 in the second quarter. Now the pitch. Struck him out. A fastball over the outside corner. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go in the bottom of the second. White Sox 3, California nothing. Harry Caray back at the ballpark. We go in the bottom of the second inning with Todd Cruz leading off. Speedy recovery to Sam Segbich. Cruz hitting .239, takes a curve in there for a strike call.
Cruz, since his knee injury about a month or so, maybe a month and a half ago, has never been the same with that bat. He's been fielding well, though, but for some reason he has not hit well at all.
Now the pitch, here it is. Fastball in there for a strike call. Congratulations to Lieutenant Sherla and his men. They're doing a great job around the ballpark this season. Here's the pitch. He struck him out on a curve.
It's a little curveball that locked him up. See that stance he has there? He's so locked up with his hands behind his neck that he gets locked up with a little curveball.
1 out, nobody gone.
Watch it now. Watch how tight it is on him. Watch the funny swing he has. A terrible swing.
3-0 White Sox. George the drummer boy circling the ballpark. There's a long drive hit by Lemon way back. Way back, gonna be caught by Rick Miller. Chet Lemon drove that ball about 400 feet, but Rick Miller made the catch easily. 2 up, 2 down, here's Squire.
Squires, his first time up, sacrificed, got Lemon over to second base, and then Nordhagen drove him in with a double.
The White Sox open the season at Fenway Park in Boston next year on April the 10th. 2 out here, Squires.
Is Fergosi going to be operated in Las Vegas? Is that where they're going to operate?
I don't think so. I think they have a couple days vacation. Here's the pitch. Curve into the dirt.
I think every manager hates to go to the playoffs. It's just really something they don't enjoy. And the reason that they want them there is because of a trade or meetings. They need everybody that they can have to talk to different people on ball clubs.
Here's Squires taking the pitch inside. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 men are out. Ball game of the second inning. Squires the hitter. Harold Baines waiting on deck. There's a pitch a little bit outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 men are out. Ralph Botting, the left-hander, is set. Ball 4, he walked him.
You know what hurt our division in drawing people, Harry, was Kansas City just jumping out so far. And overall in baseball, for drawing in the American League, they're minus 388,000 this year. In the National League, 310,000. Of course, there's more teams in the American League.
Here's Baines. He was out on a freaky foul ball. There goes a runner. Strike call to Peg. He's in there with a stolen base. Squires steals second.
Here's the replay now. Ball is right where he likes it, but he makes a terrible throw. Squires easily beats it.
That's his 8th stolen base for Squires. He's been thrown out 9 times.
Catcher is Donahue.
Tom Donahue. There's a pitch a little bit outside.
Langsford at third sneaks in a little bit on Baines. Baines has been dropping bunts down that third base line against California's last 2 series, especially against left-handers.
A ball and a strike. There's a curved line to right center. A base hit. A run is in. Here goes Baines on his way to second base. Kupski fumbled that ball. Call it a double. And a run is in.
Kupski had to run a long way for this ball. Here you'll see a high breaking ball with just nothing on it. Look at it. Boy, he just rips it. If you throw a left-hander a high snake inside, he'll kill you. Kupski can't come up with it. Squires scores. Baines was in a second base with a double. And that is Baines' 23rd double of the year. Baines also had 16 triples and 13 home runs.
49 RBI.
Ooh.
There's a pitch goes behind Nordhagen. All the way to the screen. Here's a man going to try to score. And he makes it all the way from second base. The pitcher was late covering. Donahue, the catcher, nonchalant and going back.
Harry, watch where this ball goes over the back of Nordhagen's neck. He threw at him, and boy, I like to see a guy like Baines finally stand on that mound like he still belongs in Double-A. Now watch where this ball goes. He threw it right behind him. Now, if that isn't a throw at pitch, I never saw one. And now watch where the pitcher is. He doesn't even go home. He doesn't want to face Nordhagen, I guess, but Baines will score easy. That was a real throw-at job.
Oh, it won the last day of the season.
I want to tell you, that ball really was thrown at him. If it hit him, it hit him right maybe in the neck. A little bit late the way he's pitching. He doesn't have enough to throw at anybody.
Now the pitch, here it is, and the fastball is low.
He's one of the few left-handers I've seen come in the American League in the last couple of years with garbage for a young man.
Green Bay leads Cincinnati 14-6 in the second quarter in football. 2 balls, no strikes. There, it's outside. 5-0 in favor of the White Sox. Chris Knapp still warming up in the bullpen. Now the pitch. Popped it up. On the infield's the shortstop, Campaneris. Makes the catch to retire the side. 2 more runs for the White Sox on just 1 hit. No errors. Nobody left. At the end of 2, the White Sox 5, California nothing.
Yeah, it's going down.
Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall back in the ballpark. We're going to the top of the 3rd. White Sox are out in front, 5-0.
It is getting a little chilly, Coach.
As the sun goes down.
Behind the screen.
Tom Donahue. First pitch is high, ball 1. Donahue hitting 187. He weighs more than that. There's a fastball for a strike call. A ball and a strike. Tom Donahue, the catcher, swings at a breaking ball. 2 strikes and a ball.
Watching Chris Knapp throw in the bullpen, he's pushing the ball. He doesn't look like he's got much velocity at all.
There's a strike called over the outside corner, and he's out of there on strike. 3rd strikeout for Trout. Trout pitched the first game of the season and lost. Now the last game of the season looks like he's going to win.
Well, the pitch could have been either way, but it's too close to take.
1 out.
The last day of the season.
Here's Campaneris. Strike over the outside corner.
Harry, we were talking about a valuable ball player to a ball club. In 1972, I watched this guy play shortstop for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, he's great. I saw him in 1970 when he hit 20 homers. Can you imagine that?
And you know, Harry, watching him, not only cutoffs, but defense and running the infield.
Here's a pitch swung on and missed.
And starting out a rally in the 8th or 9th inning, you knew he was going to get on when you needed that guy on there. I mean, that's what you look at a ball club. It was just one of the most fabulous years I've ever seen for a...
He was one of the most valuable members of that club.
And you don't think about how big he is or what he was. It's how good he was.
2 strikes on the ball. 1 out. The pitch to Campaneris. Fouled it back. Into the stand.
He's the youngest 38 or 90, 41, 2 years old I've ever seen.
This might be the swan song for him, though.
Yeah, I think his contract is up this year.
There's a pitch fouled out of play. Into the stand.
You know, this California club has learned to try to fill their shortstop position with an older guy. Has not worked out.
2 strikes and the ball. Fastball low and away.
That's why I wonder why they got rid of Melnick. Because he looked like he had tools, but there again, they see him more than we do.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Campaneris, the hitter. Swings a ground ball on the first base line. Squires has it. Over to Trout, covering for the out. 2 gone.
Campaneris
Dickie Thon
down that line in a hurry. Now watch Trout, who really doesn't get over there, forgets how fast this guy is. He just reaches out and, oops. Now watch, Mike gets a little tough play. He has to throw the ball to the pitcher because he can't get it himself. And it looks like there's going to be a little contact here as we get to the bag. No, he got it easy.
2 men are out. Here is Dickie Thon. White Sox shooting for their 70th victory of the year. Here's the pitch. Drill foul. Outside first base into the right field stand.
Thon, who would be about a 275 hitter because he's a contact hitter, he'll fool you with his power for a little guy. He drove Baines onto the track in a long drive his first time up, but Baines had to make a good catch to get him out.
There's a strike call.
In the minor leagues before he came up this year, he was hitting around 390 for about 50 games.
Now the pitch by Trout. A little bit low. The St. Louis Cardinals are leading the New Orleans Saints 30-7 in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah. The only thing the Saints got is a quarterback.
Here's a pitch a little bit low. At Minnesota, Bradshaw just went over. Pittsburgh leads Minnesota 23-3 in the 3rd period. Now the pitch. Thon jammed a little roller to the second baseman. Morrison has it over to first. 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. We go into the bottom of the 3rd. 5-0 White Sox. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. Max Patkin entertaining the crowd now. Here's a surprising football score. We have Seattle leading Houston now, 26-0 early in the 3rd quarter. Can that be right? That's how it comes through on the ticker.
Chris Knapp comes on. Knapp making his 32nd appearance. He has started 20 games, got 1 complete game. He's got a record of 2-11 with a gigantic ERA of 6.35. He's pitched 113 innings, got 1 save. Knapp, who started his career right here in Chicago, went out to California in the trade for Dotson, Bonds, and Bosley. Of course, Frost has been the big pitcher for California in the trade because Knapp has never been able to come into his own. He was unhappy with them with his salary one time halfway through the season and really held out, and that got him in bad graces with the Angels, and he never really has come back from that time of the year when he was having a pretty good year.
Here we go. And leading it off, Jim Morrison.
Now you see the clown prince of baseball giving a few signs.
Morrison walked and scored his first time at bat. High drive, deep center field will be caught. Rick Miller calling for it, and he has.
You know, Harry, Morrison likes it so much. He sold his home in Atlanta and has moved up to Lyle area around Naperville.
Yeah, bought a home there.
Yeah.
Here's Glenn Borgman, drove in a run with a base hit. I like that question mark.
We got a few of those. Oh, they're throwing
The toilet paper out at Patchen. Anybody we know?
The facial expression is what gets me.
Well, he doesn't even have to have an expression. His face is funny naturally. Here's Borgman. And Chris Knapp's pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a fastball in there for a strike called. There's a pitch a little bit low.
We didn't get as many people in the fun run this year, huh, Coach? I didn't see that many.
I don't know. They seem to be. Here's a pitch.
Hey.
Boy, I thought maybe we'd catch a foul ball. Max Patkin going through his antics. Here's strike 3 call. Borgman called out on strike. Henry Cheatham of our one of our cameramen celebrating a birthday here.
44 years old?
Again.
There he is. Big guy.
That's the channel number, not his age.
Tell you one thing, as big as he is, anything he wants in the bar's room is on me.
Here's the pitch now to Rusty Kuntz, and he lifts a high pop foul. Over near the stands, and the first baseman grabs it. Harris for the out. 1-2-3, nothing across. This is Harry Carey with Jimmy Pearsall. Going to go over to the radio for a little while. The score here at the end of 3, the White Sox 5, California nothing.
I'm at him there. Well, you're looking at the clown prince of baseball, Max Patkin, going through his daily routine. Well, he really got drenched there. Apparently some whitewash. I thought they'd thrown some lime out there, but that would be dangerous. Maybe it's talcum powder. It's hard to tell. He'll vary his routine a little bit from day to day. Basically, it's the same. Joe McConnell speaking to you from Comiskey Park as the Sox bid to sweep the final game of the series. In fact, if they sweep the Angels here, it'll be the only series sweep of the year for the White Sox here at Comiskey Park. They swept the Angels 3 times twice in California. High pop foul off the bat of Carney Lansford. Lands on the roof down the first base side, strike 1. Lansford was thumbed out of yesterday's game for objecting to a called strike a bit too strenuously, along with his manager Jim Fregosi. He slaps another foul ball upstairs on the first base side. 2 strikes the count. Lansford grounded out to third baseman Kevin Bell his first time up. Sox leading 5-0 here in the 4th. Trout wasting no time. Delivers a bit high. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Lansford fans for the 92nd time this year, and that's 4 Ks for Trout today. His high was 7 against the Yankees in late April in New York when he pitched the first of his 2 shutouts. Here's another look at that swinging third strike. He went for a bad pitch into the dirt. He chased that slider. Brian Downing, who was robbed of a hit by Kevin Bell his first time up. Kevin made a lunging belly flop, gloved his ground ball, got up and threw him out. Fastball strike in the outside corner. Trout's control, for the most part, has been impeccable. He walked John Harris on 4 pitches. Other than that, he's been ahead of every hitter. Downing with that open stance facing the pitcher. Curveball in there, a beauty. 2 strikes. Trout has been the victim of some shoddy fielding by his teammates and himself as well. 20 unearned runs scored off Steve Trout this year has been one of the major problems he has had. That's why his record is 8-16. Outside with a fastball, 1-2 the count. Well, the only really big game left today. Houston at Los Angeles. Into the dirt. 2-2. A win by the Dodgers would force a single-game sudden-death playoff for the same 2 clubs tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. The Astros went into Los Angeles with a 3-game lead and 3 to go, and the Dodgers, down to their final out, bailed out the first ball game, and Garvey's 26th of the year won it yesterday 2-1. Low and inside. Now the count is full to Brian Downing. Mike Schmidt's 48th wrapped it up for the Phillies at Montreal yesterday. Carlton was to pitch today, but when the Astros clinched, they're going with the youngster. Bouncing ball to the right side. Morrison over. Gloves it right off his right shoe top and throws him out. 2 down. So Montreal will play the winner of the Houston Los Angeles fracas for the National League pennant. And the Kansas City Royals, champions in the West, will play the New York Yankees, champions of the East, beginning Wednesday night. Best of 5 to determine the World Series entrant for the American League. Here's Bobby Clark, who singled his first time up. He only hit off Trout. Outside and out of Boardman's mitt, ball 1. The Sox were able to come up with some timely hitting, capitalizing on Ralph Botting's wildness to score 5 runs. Down and in, ball 2 and no strikes. Neither club with an error, although I thought the right fielder, Kupski, should have been charged with an error on Baines' ball, but they gave Harold a double. Fouled back. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 delivery. Ripped down the left field line. Fair ball just inside the line. Bouncing down into the left field corner. And apparently one of the fans reached over the railing and impeded the progress of the ball, so that's a ground rule double to Clark. His 10th 2-bagger. Another look. He's got both hits off Trout. Watts down in the left field corner to see if one of the fans reached over and touched that ball. Yep. I don't know why they'll do that. Swing and a miss on a high fastball to Rick Miller, who struck out swinging his first time up. Two out. There's a look at Clark with his lead at second. Broken bat bouncer to the opposite side under Bell's glove, but Cruz feels it and throws him out. That looked like a tough play. It skidded. It scooted on Kevin, got under his glove, but Cruz was backing him up and made the play to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left after 3.5 in Chicago. The Sox 5, the Angels nothing. Well, we get set for the bottom of the 4th inning. The Sox will send up Kevin Bell, Todd Cruz, and the leadoff batter, Chet Lemon. What a way to make a living, eh? Kevin Bell struck out in his first time up against the starting pitcher, left-hander Ralph Botting. Now he's facing the former Sox right-hander, Chris Knapp. Inside, ball 1. In the bottom of the 7th at Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, the Pirates lead the Cubs 1-0. Inside again, ball 2 and no strikes. No score in the 5th at Cincinnati, the Braves and the Reds. New York Mets lead the St. Louis Cardinals 1-0 in the 4th at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Blowing away, 3-0. No score posted yet on Philadelphia at Montreal. The Dodgers hosting the Astros in a must-win situation in Los Angeles later on. Strike, the automatic, 3-1. The American League, they're in the 5th at Boston. Toronto swept at Twinville from the Red Sox, leading today. Blue Jays 2-0 over the Red Sox. Kevin Bell hammers one high and deep left center field. Long run for Rick Miller, and he reaches up there to glove it. The wind helped hold that one up. Kevin gave it a good ride. There's Todd Cruz, who struck out his first time up against the departed left-hander, Ralph Body. Try to read those signs. Blowing away, ball 1. Tell you that looks easy till you try it. Hopkins has played in 70 different ballparks this summer. He's been doing it since the 40s. Foul back, 1-1 the count. He and Bill Veeck go back a long way. Outside with a slider, 2-1 to Todd Cruz. Tell you need a rake and a shovel when he gets done showering. Swing and a miss on a pitch up around the shoulders. 2-2 to Todd Cruz. A drive to left field, but Clark over in front of it makes the catch for the out. 2 down. 2 well hit balls, but right at the outfielders here. Now Chet Levin, who's walked and scored and flied deep to Miller in center. 0 for 1 for Chet. Had he been able to come up with a couple of hits yesterday, would have had a real shot at making the 300 mark. But he was 0 for 4 yesterday. It's only the second time in 35 games that Chet failed to reach base one way or another since he was moved into that leadoff spot. Breaking ball into the dirt. Ball 1. Strike at the knees. 1-1 the count. I think we reiterated earlier, Pat can one time call time. He'll sometimes call time and walk down to talk to the batter. He did that up in Toronto when Mayberry was up. Walked down and had his little conference with John, and Mayberry hit the next pitch out of the ballpark. High drive left field, but it's hit too high, I think, to get out of here. Into the left field corner, chasing it in foul territory, and what a catch! Oh, man! What a play! That is the second great foul ball catch of this series by Bobby Clark. Let's take another look at that. Boy, what a great catch. He stayed right with it, right into the first row. The Sox go down in order. Mr. Clark is quite an outfielder. After 4 innings here in the south side of Chicago, the score, the Sox 5, the Angels nothing. Well, Max has taken his turn at the plate. And, of course, running to third. George Baloney is kind of a ham himself. He hasn't called it yet. He hasn't called it yet. Look at Marvis Foley in the Sox dugout. They're loving it. They usually throw him out of the game. I don't think he threw him out. That's Bobby Knopp, the Angels' third base coach. Oh, Max Papke gets a nice head. I tell you, that's hard work. He is to baseball what the Globetrotters are to basketball. He's been to practically every major and minor league ballpark in America at one time or another in the past 35 years. Come over to congratulate him. He's too dirty to touch. John Harris leading off the Angels' fifth takes a pitch inside a ball. Ball one. 5-0. The White Sox behind Steve Trout have the lead here. Trout's given up 2 hits. Both to Bobby Clark, who just turned in a fielding gem a moment ago. Ball 2 and no strikes. Harris will be followed by Kupski and Donahue, the bottom third of the Angel batting order. He takes a strike, 2-1. I'm happy to say the health is much better today. Beginning to wonder whether I was going to make it yesterday. Good fastball, strike 2, 2-2. Ever have those days where you want to die? I had one of those yesterday. He's out of there. Called third strike. That's 5 for Trout. 3 of them have been called third strikes. So Harris, who walked the first time up, the only walk-off Trout, looks at a called third strike, and it's a beauty. Fastball, knee-high outside corner. Perfect pitch. Kupski takes the ball. He struck out looking his first time up. Kupski and Harris were both brought up along with the starter today, Ralph Botting, on the 1st of September for the Angels. Pitch outside, ball 2 and no strikes. Trout needs another strikeout to reach the 90 mark for the year. He has 89 at the moment. He missed again, 3-0. He walked him on 4 pitches. That's the second walk issued by Steve and his 46th of the year. One on, one out. Here's Donahue, struck out. He looked at a called third strike, a slider, his first time up. There's 5 in a row. Trout has missed a strike zone with, and Boardman goes out in front of home plate to settle him down a bit. I think he needs to slow down just a bit. Well, the A's in the bottom of the 4th at County Stadium, leading the Milwaukee Brewers 4-2. Yesterday, Bob Lacey, their left-hander out of the bullpen, got a start and pitched a shutout. Inside a ball, that's 2-0. Now Boardman calls time. He's going out to talk with Trout. That's 6 in a row Steve's missed the strike zone with. The Blue Jays leading the Red Sox 2-0, bottom of the 6th at Fenway. They won a pair from Boston yesterday. Kansas City, the Royals leading the Twins 3-0, top of the 4th at Royal Stadium. There's a strike, 2-1. Last night, Kansas City ended the Twins' 12-game losing string, and boy did they ever, 17-1. Yankees leading Detroit in the 5th at New York, 2-1. Drive to center, Chet backing up. Now comes in, makes the catch, 2 down. Now the leadoff batter, Bert Campaneris, who was put into the lineup at the last moment. They had penciled in Freddie Patek, but when the game started, Campaneris was in there. Tried to butt his way aboard, tagged out by Squires in the first inning. And he hit one right off the end of the bat that Squires fielded behind the bag and flipped to Trout to make it a close play in the 3rd inning. He bunts again right in front of the mound, picked up by Trout, and that retires Campaneris. So he's had a variety of putouts involving the pitcher and the first baseman. No runs, no hits. 1 left. A brief look at 38-year-old Bert Campaneris. After 4.5, we reached the halfway point here in Chicago. The Sox leading the Angels 5. Mike Squires will lead it off. They'll be followed by Harold Baines and Wade Nordhagen here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chris Knapp, who's pitched 2 innings in relief for the Angels. Well, I'd personally like to thank every one of the very talented people who have made my first year in Chicago so very easy to do here on TV 44. Outside the ball. I'm going to miss a lot of these guys. Friendships are made in this business, but after 8 years, WSNS, of course, changed format, and that necessitated some programming changes. 1-1 the count to Squires. Most of the fellas I see more than some of the others. Outside the ball on the changeup, 2-1. Jimmy Angio, Mike Torsia, Bob Jacobson, all of our camera crews here. Nice bunch of guys to work with. I'm sure most of them will be bumming around Rush Street with their hands out. Foul back, 2-2 to Squires. Yeah, maybe Madison Street or South Wabash. They won't be able to afford Rush Street. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Squires. Bouncing ball to the right side. Glove behind the bag by Harris. He'll make the play and assisted. 1 out. Mike had sacrificed, walked, and scored, so he is now 0 for 1. Harold Baines, a ground out, an RBI double, and a run scored. 1 for 2 for Harold. The Sox can hang on to this lead. They'll wind up with a 70-90 record, which, for some strange reason, looks a lot better than 69-91. Kravick up and throwing again. High pop fly, shallow left. Clark coming in. Campaneris going out. Clark calls for it and takes it for the 2nd out. That's 8 in a row retired by Chris Knapp, although some balls have been hit hard. Now Nordhagen, who singled in a run and scored in the 1st inning. The lead holds up. Nordy will get credit for his 10th game-winning RBI of the year, which would tie him for the team lead for 1980 with Lamar Johnson, who has 10. Nordy popped up to short his last time up, so he's 1 for 2. Outside the ball, ball 1. Foul back, 1-1. Jake's getting in practice already. He's got his cup. You better clean up your act, Jake. Inside, ball 2 and strike 1. Guys down at the Cook County Jail. Get a berth ready for Jake. He may be in there later. Nordy's hit, but inside pitch. Take another look. Knapp steps by way of 3rd base and throws about 3/4. That pitch just drilled Nordy in the left shoulder. Looked like it was just above the left elbow. Two out, Nordhagen on. That brings up Morrison. Jimmy trying to extend his hitting string to 10. He has hit safely in 9. Had 15 of the last 16. He walked and scored in the 1st. He flied to center his last time up. Right under his chin. Ball 1. Morrison's been nicked with a pitch 8 times this year. Chet leads the league with 12. That was the first time Nordhagen's been hit by a pitch all year. Just inside, fastball, 2-0. Two outs, Nordhagen on at first. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Ball 3 up high. It looks like Jimmy will finish 3rd in the American League in doubles with 40. First half of the year he was leading the league, but Yount surpassed him, and so did Al Oliver's having a great year with the Texas Rangers. Ball 4, he walked. First walk issued by Knapp, and the fourth given to the White Sox. Botting, the starter, walked 3, including Morrison, in the first inning. So with 2 out, the Sox have a threat with Morrison and Nordhagen on base. Here comes Fregosi, out to have a word with Knapp, who had retired 8 in a row before he hit Nordhagen with an inside pitch. I'll make that Larry Sherry. Sherry looks a lot from a distance like Jim Fregosi. Sherry, of course, as White Sox fans will always remember, was the outstanding player in the 1959 World Series when the Dodgers beat the White Sox 4 out of 6. Sherry saved all 4 Dodger victories and was the most valuable player in the series. Now a youngster by the name of Schuler, David Schuler, begins to heat up in the Angel bullpen. They left about 7 pitchers back in California. Didn't even make this trip. Here's Borgman, 2 on, 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Sox already leading 5-0. High drive center field. Miller camps under it, shading his eyes with his glove, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits. A walk and a hit batter. 2 left after 5. The White Sox 5, the Angels nothing. In the top of the 6th inning, the Angels will send up Dickie Thon, Carney Lansford, and Brian Downing, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their batting order today against left-hander Steve Trout, who's coasting along right now with a 2-hit shutout. Thon is flied deep to right and bounced to Morrison at second. Outside, ball 1. The Astros failed to score in the first inning at Los Angeles. Inside a ball. Ball 2 and no strikes. The Expos have taken a 2-0 lead in the second in Montreal over the Phillies. This one, of course, a meaningless game. Ball 3 and no strikes to Thon. There's a strike, 3-1. Apparently over at Pittsburgh. Pirates win the season finale with the Cubs 1-0. The Cubs will wind up with 98 losses this year. Ball 4. Thon is on. 3rd walk given up by Trout. Pass along some football scores for you here in a moment. Four-hitter at Pittsburgh for Don Robinson. Doug Capilla lost it. Only RBI of the game, Bill Robinson. Strike called to Lansford, who has bounced out and struck out. A smash in the hole. Skips past Cruz out into left field. The Angels have a threat going with runners at first and second, nobody out. Lansford singles sharply to left in the hole. He becomes the second Angel to get a hit off Trout today. Two on, nobody out, and that'll bring up Brian Downing, who was robbed of a hit in the second inning by Kevin Bell at third, and then bounced out to Morrison the next time up. In the middle of the 4th quarter at Philadelphia, the Eagles have a 24-14 lead over the winless Washington Redskins. Well, they've been a major disappointment. The St. Louis Cardinals are embarrassing the troubled New Orleans Saints 40-7 late in the 4th. Strike to Downing. Early in the 4th period at Atlanta, the Falcons 43. The about to beat its defeated for the first time Detroit Lions 13. 43-13. The Falcons over the Lions. The Steelers were leading the Vikes the last time we looked. Green Bay and Cincinnati were hooked up in a close game. The Bears, of course, play tomorrow night in a must-win situation against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Soldier Field. The first of 3 straight division opponents for the Bears. They'll be up at Minnesota the following week and back here to face the Lions 2 Sundays from today. Strike called inside corner. 2 strikes on Brian Downing. Gary Danielson just hooked up on a 80-yard touchdown pass to Leonard Thompson. That makes it 43-20 Atlanta over the Lions in the fourth period. And Baltimore now beating Miami. The Colts 30, the Dolphins 17 in the fourth period. Schill has pulled out a couple of miracles earlier this year. 2 strikes, the count on Downing. Just outside the ball. 1-2 the count. Angels runners at first and second. Nobody out. Almost hit him. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Downing. Baltimore leading Cleveland 2-1 in the 5th at Baltimore. If Baltimore wins it, they will have won 100 games this year to finish second in the East. Yankees clinching yesterday. Fouled off. They're now in the 7th at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees leading the Tigers 2-1. Tony La Russa finishing his first full season as a big league manager. That's Bobby Winkles in the jacket. Looks like he's freezing. Jim Fregosi on top of the hill a year ago. Smash to left, base hit by Downing. They're going to wave in. Dickie Thon, here comes a throw. They cut it off. Runners at first and second, and a run is in. It's now 5-1 as Downing drives in his 25th of the year. And the Angels' first 3 batters here in the 6th inning have reached. So the shutout is gone. Here's another look. Still nobody out. And here comes the skipper out to have a word with Trout. Kravick has been throwing. And now Mike Proley gets up and starts to heat up. So it's Kravick, the left-hander, and Proley, the right-hander, in the Sox bullpen. 5-1 now. The Sox leading here in the top of the 6th. There's a look at the 2 pitchers warming up. Still nobody out. Runners at first and second, and Bobby Clark, who is singled and doubled, due to step in against Steve Trout. Rather lengthy conference is now finally broken up with the home plate umpire, Fred Spinn. We're again glad to say that Bill Veeck, who just looked marvelous yesterday, in great spirits, he and his wife Mary Frances attending the final game of the year here today. They were here yesterday as well. There's a ball outside, ball 1. The 2 runners take their leads. Ground ball to short, should get 2. Morrison for 1. Double play. And for the White Sox, their 169th of the year. A big double play there. That takes the teeth out of the inning. Moving to third is Lansford. But now there are 2 out. 1 on, a run in. Cruz taking that hot smash off the bat of Clark to Morrison, who returns to first for the double play. Now Rick Miller, who was struck out and bounced to short. Hard ground ball to Morrison. He gobbles it up, thrown at first, and the inning is over. So Steve Trout settled down thanks to the big double play ball. 1 run on 2 hits. There was a walk and 1 man left. We head for the bottom of the 6th and the final game of the year. Sox 5, Angels 1. 5-1, Sox leading the Angels, trying to take their only sweep of the year here on the home ground. Rusty Kuntz will lead it off. He has singled in a run and popped up in a foul territory to the first baseman. It's a high drive left field. It's deep, near the wall, and it's caught by Bobby Clark. I didn't think it was going out of here, but it got a little deeper than I thought. Rusty bidding for his first home run of the year. Gave it a good ride. Let's take another look at Clark, who's been busy out there in left field. Never gave up on it. Wind held that one in. On a calm day or with a little push from the wind, that ball would have been in the lower deck. Kevin Bell has fly deep to center and struck out in his 2 previous at-bats. Ground ball right to the shortstop, Campaneris. Comes up with a knee-high bounce, and he throws him out. 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the 6th. Well, again, I'd personally like to wish good luck to all the television side here on 44. Well, thank you. I'm talking off mic, as you may well imagine, with Jimmy Angio, who calls a lot of the shots from the truck here. Well, it's been a fun year. It could have been more fun had we won a few more ball games. That just wasn't to be. Low ball 1 to Todd Cruz, who has struck out and lined to left. At the Sox dugout, there's Lamar Johnson with his jacket on. Danny Krieger, the exercise weight coach. Foul back into the upper deck. The ball and a strike to Todd Cruz. Nice catch by one of the fans. Breaking ball inside. Ball 2 and strike 1. Fly ball to right. Kupski under it. And there's a 3rd out. So the Sox go quietly against Knapp, who's pitched hitless shutout ball in relief since he came on in the 3rd inning. So we have completed 6 innings of play here on the final day of the year. The White Sox leading the Angels after 6, 5-1.
Harry Carey back in the ballpark. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. Jim Harris will lead it off. The White Sox are out in front, 5-1. Now the wind up the pitch. Swung and he fouled it into the stand. Well, this is our last telecast on Channel 44. As you all know, they will no longer be carrying baseball. They've already are on pay TV at night. I tell you, our association has just been just a great one. You couldn't run into nicer people than the band, the crew here, and Ed Morse, the vice president, general manager, who's become a good friend, starting right at the executive level. So many of the people back at the station we don't run into, but who are so important in making the telecast possible. But the guys we have here that we have gotten to know and more or less live with, enjoyed so thoroughly down through these past 8 years, I would be remiss indeed. There's a ground ball. Great play by Kevin Bell. Throws the first for the out. Beautiful play. A diving stop and a perfect throw. Watch it again on our replay. He leaves his feet right here. Now look how he can get up and get something on his throw. One out, nobody on. There's a fastball in there, a strike call. Mike Torcha, Jim Angio, and Bob Jacobs up here in the booth with me. There's a pitch, foul back. They not only are masters of their craft, but they're just magnificent people to be around and to enjoy. And I'm happy to report in all sincerity that that's exactly what we've done with them. Laughed with them, cried with them, argued with them, fought with them, dined with them. Except when Torture was around, he never picked up a towel. Here's the pitch, lined in the left center, a base hit. Kupski singles to left. All our cameramen, too, I want to make sure I mention them all. Kurt who stays on TV, Mendelson. Henry Cheatham was celebrating a birthday. Bob Albrecht, Mark Clausen. There's Kurt. And there's Henry Cheatham. How about Mark Clausen? On our audio, Kevin Reynolds. Our engineers, John Thomas, Bill Fuller. Our technical supervisor, Pat McGowan. John Dickinson. Here's a fly ball hitting the right field for an easy out. Baines takes it. Who got it? There's Clausen out in center field. I think you've seen shots of some of these guys on the tube today. They wanted to prove they're handsome. It's amazing what they can do to make guys look better these days. 2 men are out. Here's Bert Campanera. There's a fastball low. All our advertisers, we want to thank. Here's a pitch, a little tap, foul off to the left. Howard Kaplan and the gang from Henry K. Jewelers, who presented our giveaway gifts to the players. Couldn't be nicer people than that. So, here's a pitch a little bit high and outside. I hate to see anything end, but here's a pitch outside. But then, when it does end, it's nice to know that you have the feeling of friendship that I have for all these people. 3 balls and a strike. There's a bouncing ball to Kevin Bell. He's got it. Oh, with a first for the out. We go in the bottom of the 7th. The score remains. The White Sox 5, the Angels 1. All right, for the last time. Let me hear you. Hey, this is for Bill Beck. Sing it loud. Here we go, Nancy. Everybody, take me out to the ball game. Take me out in the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Here's Minnie Minoso. And the crowd is giving him a standing ovation. Minnie batted yesterday. Took 2 balls with a 2-ball count. He swung at the next pitch and fouled out. There's the windup now, the pitch. Last ball in there for a strike call. Minnie Minoso. Shortstop, the third baseman, he'll be out. Look at Minnie run down that line at 58 years of age. Dave Schuler is the left-hander on the mound now for the end. Listen to the crowd. He really hustled down that line. I think he can beat some of the players right now running to first base. Minnie Minoso, there's Orlando Cepeda. I'd like to see, there's Herman Schneider, the trainer. So Lemon's season is over. Chet Lemon went out for a pinch hitter, Minnie Minoso. Mike Squires, the batter. Long drive, Kupski back. 2 gone. You had a shot of Francisco Barrios a moment ago. Hey, Nancy, I'm sure going to miss you. Nancy Faust. There's Francisco Barrios. This is Dan Traeger alongside of him. Here's a pitch swung on by Baines. Pop fly. Here comes Campaneris. Makes a fine play. Baines popped to Campaneris, who made a great running catch. There you get a good look at Nancy Faust. Have a good winner, Nancy. At the end of 7, it remains the White Sox 5, California 1. Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall back at the ballpark as we go into the 8th inning. For California, Dickie Thon will lead it off.
Coons has gone to center field, and Sutherland has gone to left. I didn't tell you the other day, but I'm going to get it in today.
Houston has taken the lead 2-0 over the Dodgers. Here's the pitch now. It's a little bit inside.
You know it wasn't on home runs, didn't you?
Yeah. Oakland leading in Milwaukee 4-2 at the end of 6.
Ooh.
Whoa, there's a smash. Look out. Cruz throws him out at first base. Let's see if Trout is hurt. Deflected by Trout to Cruz and threw him out.
Like it hit his glove hand, shook up his wrist.
Oh, I think it hit above the glove, Jimmy.
Well, okay, let's see. He really ripped it. This ball is creamed. Now watch.
See, oh boy, right on the
wrist part of it. Yeah, like the glove part and the wrist. It hit both. And watch Cruz with that arm.
So it's 1-6-3 if you're scoring.
You know, it's very scary. No one realizes how close you are to that mound unless you've pitched the ball to a hitter. It can get there before you can blink an eye. And that little round ball hurts.
The New England Patriots have defeated the New York Jets 21-11.
How about Seattle?
Philadelphia Eagles beat the Redskins 24-14. And how about Green Bay leading Cincinnati 14-6 at the end of the 3rd quarter? Lansford, he's 1 out of 3.
You know, I got to believe that California feels that they can't beat us.
I have a feeling they don't much care one way or the other. Final score, Baltimore 30, the Miami Dolphins 17. There's ball 4 to Lansford.
The most fascinating thing about the California Angels this year, in 6th place, they have drawn about 2,300,000 people, and that has got to be some kind of a record. I don't care what anybody tells me. I've heard of the Detroit, when they finished last, would draw 1.2 million or something, but this is ridiculous.
Pittsburgh Steelers knocked off the Minnesota Vikings 23-17. Here's Downing, the pitch. Strike call. 1 strike and nothing. A nippy day. Base hit like a bullet. Boy, it's a good thing that Trout deflected that first line drive into an out, because he now has walked Lansford, and Downing ripped a single up the middle, and that will bring up Bobby Clark. Clark into a double play in the 6th.
After 2 line drives by Langsford and Downing, Clark hit a ball harder, but it was right at the shortstop.
So here's Steve Trout delivering. Fastball outside.
Crowley warming up in a bullpen. Farmer has gotten his 30th save, so he seems to be very happy with that, but if they need him, I imagine he can pitch.
Popped it up. Squires shading his eye. 2 men are gone. That'll bring up Rick Miller. Miller's 0 for 3, but an easy out 3 times in a row. Mike Crowley limbering up on the bullpen.
I would have to say Proley has been a very valuable piece of merchandise for this team. Long relieving, short relieving, mopping up, never complaining, spot start.
There aren't too many guys in this ball club that I would give a raise to. But Mike Proley is definitely one.
Proley has gotten it. He's been in 61 games, so you know your record always doesn't tell how valuable you are to a ball club. He's got an ERA of 3.09.
1 ball, no strikes on Miller. Swings and he slices it foul. That evens it up, a ball and a strike. Well, Coach, it's been a long, tough year.
Coach, my thanks for your loyalty to me.
Here's the pitch, a little bit high.
I know I'm your problem child, but I love you. And I say thank you very much.
No problem.
I hope we do it again. I hope the world does it again.
I wish we could have won a few more games, that's all. 2 balls and a strike. A little bit low. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, the honest truth about this team, Harry, a couple of average players here or there would make this team at least an enjoyable team to watch. We're not that far away from a ball club that could be enjoyable. I ain't saying how much we're going to win, but to be enjoyable.
There's a base hit down the third base line. Here's a runner around third racing to the plate. Leo Sutherland's throw comes back into the infield. And it's a 5-2 ball game now as Miller got around late and poked a single right over third base. Now here's Harris, a left-hand batter.
It's getting cold.
Walked, struck out, and rolled out.
We started cold, Coach, and we'll finish it cold.
But we started with a loss, and we're going to wind up with a victory, I hope.
This is the guy he's got to get. He's got him 0 for 2 this afternoon.
Here's a pitch low and outside. You know what you just said about just pretty steady ball player, not necessarily a star. There's a line drive going to be caught by Sutherland in left field. He's got it to retire the side. He had him played perfectly. So it's 1 run out of all that. 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 5-2 White Sox.
Jimmy Pearsall and Harry Carey on the last day of the season. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. White Sox are leading 5-2. Nordhagen's going to lead it off. First time up, Nordhagen drove in a run.
Well, the White Sox went over the 1,200,000 mark. 1,200,365 for the year. Today, the paid was 8,795. Nordhagen takes the pitch outside. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Schuler, the pitcher, batting started, relieved by Knapp.
Schuler, a left-hander. Now the pitch, here it is. There's a long drive in the left center field, going to be caught. That wind holds the ball up, and Bobby Clark makes the catch.
There's been a lot of balls hit today.
Mary Frances Vick saying hello to some of the fans. Greetings to our friend John Seward, one of the White Sox great fans. Fine sponsor on the telecast. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Morrison. 1 strike to nothing.
There he is. Seward.
Seward in the skybox, I guess. There's a pitch popped up, foul, and out of play.
I want to thank the ladies on the switchboard all year who took my messages, and Harry's and everybody for being so patient with us. And to Millie Johnson, great job she does in ticket office.
That she does.
Super.
2 strikes and nothing. He struck him out. Morrison goes on swinging. Don't want to overlook our great friend up here at the press box level, Joe Panatti. The Andy Frain people.
I agree with you, Dave. The hardest working guy I've ever seen in my life.
He really is.
Any question or doubt. He doesn't want anybody unhappy, and that's including every fan that drives him crazy down at that door.
2 men around. Here's Borgman. Glenn Borgman, the hitter.
I try to give him some of my pills some night, but he doesn't want them.
2 strikes and nothing. The season is about to end here in Chicago. Well, let's see. The Cubs lost 98.
There's Rosie.
There's our great traveling secretary, Glenn Rosenbaum, along with Bob Finnegan, who's the PA announcer. Borgman hits a fly ball to center field. Miller is there and makes the catch. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. Well, when do you want to go to Notre Dame?
I will call you.
All right.
Okay.
The
Enjoy
best,
it, Skip.
the
Thank
best.
you. Have a
See
nice
you later,
winter.
Jimmy. At the end of 8 innings, White Sox 5, California 2. We've mentioned Joe Panatti to you, and here he is. Here's the man who's brings all these programs up for autographs, the pictures, takes care of all the fans. Joe, you do a marvelous job around this park.
Glad, Harry, it's a pleasure to be working with you and all the Vic family. One of the 5 best years I've ever worked. I've been around the ballpark for about 60 years, from the time I used to sneak into this ballpark when I was a little kid. This has been really a great pleasure working with you and everybody here.
Well, thank
really
you
an
very
honor
much,
and
Joe.
a pleasure.
Good luck. Take care of
Harry,
yourself.
good luck to you.
All right.
Okay.
We're in the 9th, Cubski. Bouncing ball headed for left field, and it's a hit. Cubski opens the 9th with a ground single to left. Ed Farmer was in the bullpen warming up a moment ago. Rich Dodson's been limbering up. Rich Dodson's going to go on a baseball trip to the USO, with a lot of other star players. Tom Donahue, the catcher, the batter. Line in the center field a hit. Hey, they got something going here. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here's Bert Campaneris. The score, 5-2 in favor of the White Sox. The White Sox, over the past 5 years now, have averaged $1,300,000 per year. There's Tony La Russa, the manager of the White Sox, coming out. In the 4th period, Seattle leads Houston in football 26-7. Yankees beat the Tigers 2-1 today. Baltimore's going to win its game. Baltimore will end the season with 100 victories, but will have finished second. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Outside. The Rams have taken a 7-0 lead over the 49ers in the first period. Atlanta knocked off Detroit 43-28. Low, ball 3. Three balls, no strike. Strike call, the fastball. Dickie Thon is on deck. Mike Crowley's down in the bullpen. 3 balls and a strike. Strike 2 call. Ken Ramirez thought it was high. The home plate section now is in the shadow of the stand. So the pitch is coming out of the bright sunshine into the shade. The Baltimore Orioles last year in winnings had 102 victories. This year in losing, they had 100 victories. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Nobody out. That's going to be all for Trout. He's going to leave with the bases loaded, nobody out. And Mike Crowley is going to be coming in out of the bullpen. This is La Russa's second appearance of the inning, so all right, we have a new pitcher coming in, Mike Crowley. A nice hand going up for Steve Trout. Listen. We'll be back following this message.
Sportmart, NBA Dr. J Basketball by Spalding, 1132. Schaumburg, Niles, Lombard, Calumet City, Oaklawn. For sports, it's Sportmart.
Mike Crowley taking his practice tosses. One of Bill Veeck's records was just broken today. In 1948, the Cleveland Indians under Bill Veeck set an all-time American League attendance record, which until this day had never been broken. But today, the Yankees broke it when they drew almost 36,000 paid, running their attendance for the year to 2,627,417, beating the attendance record formerly held by the Indians under Bill Veeck in 1948. Mike Crowley with a chance to pick up his 8th save. Crowley appearing in his 62nd game. He's won 5, he's lost 10 with an earned run average of 3.09. He's got 7 saves. White Sox have made only 4 hits today, but have 5 runs. Jason Thompson is going to bat. Left-hand hitter. Thompson hitting .288 with 21 homers. Fastball a little bit low. Bases jammed, nobody out. Low, ball 2. Low and outside. 2-0 pitch. Swung and he fouled it off. Jason Thompson was going for the long one. Houston leading the Dodgers 2-0 in the third in the game deciding the last remaining spot in the playoffs. Philadelphia's in the National League. Houston must win to get in. The Dodgers could force a playoff with a win. It's New York and Kansas City in the American League. Ball, 3 low. 3 balls and a strike. The Angels about hit the White Sox 9-4, but the White Sox lead 5-2. 3 balls and a strike. He had a cut and he fouled it off. And the count is full at 3-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. Crowley trying to make him hit the ball into a double play. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. Jason Thompson. A long ball threat. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. They may get the double play. Safe at first. The run is in. Just got the force out. Morrison unassisted. That makes it 4-3 now. 5-3 rather. Did I say 4? Runners at first and third, 1 out. A run batted in for Jason Thompson. Kupski crossed the plate. Donahue went to third. Campaneris was barely fourth. Morrison's throw to Squires was just too late. Bobby Grich is going to run at first base. He represents the tying run over there. Here now is Corning Lansford facing Mike Crowley. Strike over the outside corner. 1 strike and nothing. Crowley going for his 8th save. Fastball a little bit low. One pitch. Outside, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Brian Downing would be up there next. Now Lansford steps out of the batter's box. Ball low. And now it's 3 balls and a strike. 5-3 in favor of the White Sox. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Swung at the pitch and he fouled it off. He might have chased a bad ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Crowley very coolly rubbing up the baseball off the mound on the grass. There's Jim Fregosi, the manager of the Angels. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul. Bobby Grich was holding up, was not running on the pitch. which is a little surprising. He represents a tie run. Baltimore about to win its 100th game of the season, but to no avail. They'll finish second with 100 victories. Three and two. The pitch, there goes the runner. Strike three, the play. Sox win. A double play on the strikeout. So, the White Sox have won the ball game 5-3. And Proley picks up his 8th save. Lansford called out on strikes. And Bobby Grich thrown out from Borgman to Morrison. So, the season is over. And the White Sox ended with a victory. We'll be back with the totals and highlights following this message.